How you feeling, bro?
Hi, Alfonso. How are you? There's nobody.
Who's Alfonso? Who's Alfonso?
Friend of mine.
Does he watch every day?
Doesn't he come?
Huh?
Yeah, why are you late today?
You're late, Joe. You're late. I was here. Rev, I was here. Joe was late. I don't know why.
How you doing, Reverend?
Hi, Revlin. Look who it is, Alfred Cluse.
Alfred, hi.
Alfred, I'm going to be thanking you in a minute for my beautiful package you sent me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We got good, look what he says right there, Joe. We got good seats today. Do we look clear? Can you see us good? Is there sunlight jumping through the screen, screwing us over? Miss Reilly's here. Wow, really?
He doesn't like sun at all.
Okay, I like sun. The camera doesn't like sun. Joe Hernandez is here. George, Joe, fill out the pink. Joe, you think Joe knows what the hell that is? Or what? I don't even know what it is. So I know you know. Oh my God, look who's here. David Johnson. My childhood friend, a wonderful human being, Joe. He's too good for this show. I don't know why he's slumming it today. Edward Griffin's here. Streaming with Vinny G's here. Who did I miss? Colleen is here. Hi, Colleen.
How are you?
My girl, Colleen. Hi, Colleen. Mr. Bot is here. RJ's here. RJ, this show is the first time I've ever doing this. I'm dedicating the show to you again, 2 days in a row. RJ had some major knee surgery, Joe.
How is it
And
doing?
I told him that you were going to send him a brand new skateboard, but now that he had this knee surgery, I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's an appropriate gift, Joe, to send a guy with knee surgery a skateboard. I think it's inappropriate. I think you owe him an apology, Joe.
I send you electric chair.
He's going to send you an electric chair. Electric chairs used to kill people, Joe. Why are you going to kill RJ?
Now they have electric chair to
You talking about a wheelchair?
wheelchair.
Let's start the show. Am I my brother's reaper? I don't know.
What's that?
If it's proposed, it's got to be a knock against Joe Biden.
How you doing, Mr. Biden?
The company paid James Biden Saudi money. They didn't report on any of the Trump stuff.
They must have a lot of money.
Joe Biden. It's all about Joe Biden. People think I care. I don't care about Joe Biden. I care about America and doing better and being better. Joe.
Enjoy those money.
Where's the smoke? So these weed shops are finally they're reaping what they sow. They're reaping what they smoke. These fake weed shops all over the place, Joe. It's real weed. My ladies seem to like it. The problem is it's illegal. They're not being taxed. They spend 50 grand, they open up a shop, and what's this kid doing right here, bro?
How you doing?
Don't encourage me. Kid's trying to get on the damn show. Anyways, this one was fined $50,000, Joe. An unlicensed Big Apple weed shop was slapped with a staggering $50,000 in fines. One of the workers was arrested the same day.
How are you?
Now they're going after the weed guys, Joe.
Well,
where are you going to score your dime bags at, Joe?
When they fine him 50,000, that means it's going to close down.
Yeah, he's going to have a problem.
No way you can pay that.
It just confirmed the Post on Tuesday that the Jungle Boys at 253 Broadway was fined tens of thousands of dollars after the agency conducted inspections. So, Joe, how many, without lying, without exaggerating, how many weed stores do we have in our neighborhood here, Joe?
I see about 4 or 5.
There's 4 or 5 on this block. About 10 on the other block,
I don't
10
know
on
if
this
they
block.
are licensed.
They're not. There's only 3 licensed in the city right now. All these are fake licenses. If anybody knows her number, it's important that I contact her regarding a private matter. How is she doing? She's doing great, Joe. By the way, everybody keeps asking me how was my Valentine. It was great. My Valentine was right there. My Valentine issue was Joe. I had 34 other Valentines, but they were non-confirmed. In other words, I said, would you be my Valentine? They said yes. There was no sexual favors or candy or anything else. It was just a, hey, will you be my Valentine? Like Joe. Joe's the only one I got candy for. Joe, you're the only one I got candy for. Did you eat your candy?
Thank you, Mr. Candy.
Thank you, Mr. Candy. Did you eat your candy, Joe?
Not yet. When I am in the mood, I eat these.
I don't know this guy, but he sickens me. It says the winner of the November's Powerball. $2.4 billion, Joe. I don't like this guy. He was identified Tuesday as a California lottery official. His name is Edwin Castro. First of all, Edwin Castro, you screwed up.
That means he's Cuban.
Because his name is Castro, he must be Cuban, according to
of course, they have that name.
Joe, if you won $2 billion, you really shouldn't tell anybody you won $2 billion.
That means 1 billion. He won 1 billion.
He won $1 billion. He got Jay-Z money. Castro declined to appear at a press conference, issuing a statement saying he was shocked and ecstatic and glad that the lottery helps to fund public education. Now I really don't like this guy. It's funny because not only is he lucky at winning at the Powerball, but he got really lucky the next day when he started dating a supermodel.
She dated him.
She dated him. Fired up loser, Eagles fans busted. After his team lost the Super Bowl Sunday night, a Philadelphia Eagles fan was busted after he allegedly broke into Marin County, Florida firehouse, ransacked the place, peed on the floor, threw a meat cleaver at firefighters. His team lost the Super Bowl, Joe. My team, the 49ers, the greatest team in the history of the world, lost the Super Bowl, and I didn't go and try to kill any firefighters with a meat cleaver. He was officially grounded on the second time one night. I don't care. He's a dork. He's a dork. All right, Joe, what else we got? Joe, what do you think of those little scooters with the batteries?
They are time bombs.
They're time bombs, waiting to kill people. We talk about it on the show. How many times do you think we've talked about fires on this show with those batteries, Joe?
Well,
100?
100 times.
Well, here's another one. 67-year-old woman was left fighting for her life in a hospital after Tuesday Brooklyn inferno caused by an e-bike battery, Joe. You take your bike home, you rode it around, you had a great time, you plug it into the wall, you go to sleep, and the battery catches on fire and kills your neighbor. Is that fair?
Yeah, they leave it on for a long time.
There's some places that won't let you even have that bike in your building. And Joe, if you leave the bike outside locked up, it's going to get stolen, even with a lock on it. So I don't know what they're going to do. Fire tore through all 3 floors of the home on Goodwin Place in Bushwick around 4:40 a.m. when you're sound asleep, Joe. 2 shot near Brooklyn High School, a junior high school. I don't even know why that makes the paper anymore. That's just a regular old day. Two people, including a 16-year-old boy, were shot and wounded. David Young.
How you doing, Dave?
David Young's in the house. David Young, do you remember the shooting at Fairfield High with Eric Brown? Were you there that day?
How you doing, Paul?
Because I was. The year was 1979. Eric Brown, Tim Knight, and the shooter, McCurdy, whatever McCurdy's first name was. I had gotten into a fist fight with McCurdy a couple days before. Not even a fist fight. He beat me up and took my money that I was trying to buy a Coke. I was very poor and I was in the gym. I think Cokes were 50 cents. And he fought me and took my 50 cents. And David Young was there. It was horrible. Eric Brown was a neighborhood kid that grew up with us. And long story short, they came over and this McCurdy kid started blasting, shot Eric in the back, used me and my friend Doug Clark, he's dead now, killed by the police many years later, as a human shield. I'm going to reach out to my friend Eric Brown and I'm going to have him on the show via satellite. That's what we do nowadays, via satellite. we're going to talk about, that was the first school shooting I had ever heard about. There was no Columbines or anything back then. And I still recall it was very, very sad. We grew up in a pretty small town. Joe, 23 indicted in Queens in a turf battle that killed a mom. Look at this beautiful mom and her babies. These knuckleheads are out here, Joe. They all got guns. You can see the guns right there. They all got guns. It's windy out here, folks, so I'm having trouble with the thing. Joe, can I give you this? Or we'll crumple it up or whatever. Yeah, Arsenal recovered handguns are displayed Tuesday at Queens DA, and just guns everywhere. Guns, 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 and more guns. Invisible object set off U-Haul. The Rampage driver said he saw things. This is the guy who took the U-Haul truck, Joe. That was a Jordan Joe exclusive. He killed one and ran over like 8 or 9. On Cops Tuesday, they removed the Rampage suspect Wang Sor from the U-Haul. He said he was seeing things. Joe, you're walking down the street minding your own business. Some crazy guy who sees things runs you over or stabs you or beats you up.
You want to find some trick to get out of that genocide.
Joe, the death toll in Turkey and Syria is up to 40,000 as you predicted.
41,000 this morning. Yeah,
and guys, we've got weeks and weeks to go until they'll put a cap on it. Joe said it would be at 60,000 by the time it was done. I want you to remember, guys, we lost.
They said actually they need 20 years to build all those cities.
200,000 homes. 200,000 homes were destroyed and flattened. 200,000. So, Joe, it's just horrible. In Vietnam, we lost 60,000, 59,000. We lost 60,000 troops in Vietnam, which lasted like 18 years. We lost 50,000 in 1 hour in this horrible, horrible earthquake. But there is some good minutes. But there is some good news that comes out, Joe. 2 brothers were among at least 9 people saved yesterday after being stuck for 200 hours. Someone sent me a video of a kitty cat being rescued, which is great. Of course, I'm not comparing that to human life, but any life being saved is wonderful. 2 brothers were among at least 9 people miraculously rescued from the earthquake rubble in Turkey. 200 hours after massive tremors rocked. More than 41,000 people now are confirmed dead.
Still have tremors. Small.
One of the siblings survived by drinking protein powder, while the other survived. Said he was playing video games when the building came down. Hopeful rescue workers added that they can still hear voices in other areas around the city. Oh boy. Bogus kid, newborn. The baby girl born under the rubble of the earthquake-flattened home in Syria last week, Joe, we talked about the mother was rescued with the newborn clutching to her bosom. She was breastfeeding it at 4:30 in the morning when the tremor happened. Strangers started showing up claiming that they were relatives. The newborn named Aya, which is Arabic. Do you know what Aya is, Joe?
Aya is a miracle.
Aya is a miracle. It's Arabic for the signs from God as a miracle. Has been recovering at the Chia hospital in northern Syria ever since she was found, with her umbilical cord still attached to her dead mother.
What a shit.
Now they're lining up down the block claiming that she is theirs. Joe, we had a slashing in Union Square of all places. Can you believe it? Union Square, a Manhattan pedestrian was slashed with a box cutter. Now those are the good old days, Joe. They used to cut you around here with a damn box cutter. Now they get you with knives, and the worst is screwdrivers. Because they're dull, they're not meant to be a slashing thing. They poke you with screwdrivers. It was an unprovoked attack. The assailant approached the 36-year-old male victim in Union Square Around 9:40 a.m., the stranger slashed this unsuspecting man in the back before fleeing into a nearby train station. The guy who did it had to walk by at least 30 cameras. So today or tomorrow we'll see his picture on the news. Mike Pence. I'm not doing it.
How you doing, Mr.?
How you doing, Mr. Pence? This is sad, Joe. We had a shooting. Another school shooting, Joe. But don't worry. The GOP is sending their regards. They're sending their condolences, so don't you worry. Another shooting, this time, Joe, from this piece of shit right here. Evil descent. They say that his mother died, Joe. And when his mother died, he started getting mean. The dad says he turned into a maniac. My mother died. I hated it. It was horrible. My father died. I hated it. It was horrible. But I didn't feel like going to hurt and shoot people. The crazed man who killed 3 Michigan State University students and critically injured 5 others Monday before apparently taking his own life like a coward, sank into deep depression that made him evil after his mother died in 2020. Joe, a strange tidbit that came out about that.
Kill people?
That's crazy. There was a TV show many years ago, Flavor of Love, starring Flavor Flav. Flavor of Love. He was a hype man for a group called Public Enemy. Flavor Flav, also known as William Drayton. Flavor Flav was the best. I think he's the best sidekick, hype man ever in the history of the world. Anyways, with that said, he had a show where he was in a house full of women called Flavor of Love. And a lot of these women went on to be famous. Became famous. New York was one of them. Tiffany, whatever the hell her name was, she ended up having her own show. But one of them was named Delicious. Delicious, a bad one, son. Bridget Nielsen was on a reboot of Flavor Flav. He's a foofy. But Delicious, spelled D-E-E-L-I-cious, became very famous because of being on the show. Well, it was her niece was one of the 3 that was murdered at this school. She was on, I saw it, on Instagram and Facebook, sending out messages saying, my niece is in the building where the shooter is. We cannot reach her. Can someone please reach out to her and tell her to contact her family and that we love her and please pray for her. Well, the next day, her most horrible fears came true. Her precious niece was one of the 3 that was murdered by this piece of trash. This poor thing right here, Joe. You remember Sandy Hook, Joe?
Yeah.
Sandy Hook, 26 or 27 kids killed. This was one of the young babies at Sandy Hook. It happened 20 years ago. This little 17, whatever years ago it was, I'll get to you. By the way, there's Delicious's niece right there. These are the 3 young people that were murdered. This woman right here is a woman now, but she was a little kindergartner when 27 of her classmates were slaughtered in Sandy Hook. She ended up going here, and now she had to huddle in the corner as more friends of hers were killed. Some students who survived previous massacres at Sandy Hook Elementary School or Oxford High School have faced with terror of gun violence yet again. This young woman here, I'm 21 years old, and this is the 2nd mass shooting that I have now lived through, said Jackie Matthews. She's currently a senior. Guys, she was a little baby. She was 6 years old when she survived the first mass shooting. I can't even imagine what that would be like. It was in 2012, Joe. Slaughtered 20 students and 6 teachers. Alright. Very windy out here, Joe. Well, I do send love and my condolences, and I would really love to see an end to this gun violence. It's got to be video games, no? Japan has almost zero gun violence, and they have 1 million times more videos than we do. It's got to be mental health. Well, there's mental health all over Europe, and they don't have this problem. We live in a gun culture, Joe. We have 360 million Americans, and there's 450 million guns. There's a gun for every human being plus an extra for backup. We live in a gun culture, and because of what it says in our bylaws, the Second Amendment, First Amendment, I don't know which one it is. Well, I have the right to bear arms. I don't want to take that away from anybody. But I definitely think there should be some more stuff done. I just got sent a video the other day, Joe, when they first outlawed drinking and driving. It wasn't always you can't drink and drive. That just came around in the 70s. There's all these idiots going in their cars being interviewed by newscasters. I think it's ridiculous. Now they're going to tell me I can't drink a beer after a hard day's work in my car? What, I got to get out, go to a bar? They're making us wear seatbelts? There are new rules and regulations that get added all the time in these gun laws. I think we should ban assault weapons. I was a hunter, unfortunately. I don't know one person that ever shot a deer with an assault weapon. Boogie Bob, I love your show, but man, you better lay off guns. Fuck off. Sorry, Joe. Joe, there was a Brooklyn shove in a Brooklyn, a bust in a Brooklyn shove. It's very windy out here, Joe. Why didn't you tell me it was so windy? David Young, why didn't you tell me it was windy out? A homeless man was busted Tuesday for allegedly shoving a stranger. Where did they shove them onto, Joe?
The subway.
The subway. I tell you all the time, if you're going to come to New York, you want to ride that subway, keep your ass back behind the yellow thing. I weigh 270 pounds, Joe. You're going to have to shove me really hard because I'm going to be 20 feet away from the tracks, bro. You're going to have to drag me like a bag of sugar. I'm not walking to... That's like walking the plank, Joe. A homeless man was busted for allegedly shoving a stranger onto the tracks at a Brooklyn subway station after yelling, "I'm going to kill you." Corey Walcott, 44, is accused of attacking a 66-year-old man at 3 p.m. Saturday while the victim waited for the 2 train. Where did he wait for the 2 train, Joe? Right by the yellow line. Like, where's the train? Is it coming? Leaning over. Can't get shoved if you're way back there, bro. I got at least 40 videos talking about the dangers of being shoved onto that track. Prior to being pushed, the police said his victim states that the perp came up to him and said, "I'm going to kill you." He begins to run away, and he's chased by the perpetrator and pushed onto the tracks. Don't run away next to the track, bro. Run away in the other way. You ain't pushing me onto no tracks. Look at this, Joe. Do you know where this takes place? That's that big statue of Jesus. That's the statue of Jesus in Rio de Janeiro. Look at, there's a big picture of it. There's a little tiny picture of it. And look at that bolt of lightning. Somebody got an amazing shot. It got struck by lightning. And the Lord said, "Let there be lightning."
That's Rio de Janeiro.
That sure is. It's Rio de Janeiro. Photographer captured the breathtaking moment lightning struck the iconic Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. The viral shows a bolt of lightning hitting the head of the nearly 100-foot tall. That's a beautiful statue. Look at it. All right, let's keep it moving, Joe. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, Joe. I'm not doing it. Hi, Pigeon. I'm not doing that either, Joe. There's a lot I'm not doing.
I fed them.
Joe fed the pigeons. That's why they're pecking at my feet. It's funny because all of Joe's pigeons are missing a leg. Oh, Joe,
I don't know what kind of disease.
It's that hair. Remember, Joe, the hair that cuts their feet off? I did a whole expose on the pigeons, A lot of them have black hair tied around their thing. I thought it was somebody trying to hurt the pigeons, but it was not. It was actually, I did a lot of research. The pigeons, they, especially if there's a barber shop nearby, we've got 2 or 3, they get the hair tangled in their feet. They're walking like this at first, and it gets tangled, and then it gets mangled, and then they can't break the hair off, and it ends up killing their foot. We've got about 12 pigeons out here right around us right now, missing a foot. All right. This is Haley's comic. She just announced her run for president. Now, I'll give everybody a try. There's a couple problems with her. One, she's the governor of South Carolina. She is, I think it's great that she's a take charge woman. She is the daughter of 2 Indian descent people, so I think that's amazing. The problem is, Joe, she came out, I just watched her announcement today, and she made it very clear that there's no racism in America. America has no racism. It is not a racist country. If any human being believes that, you are a moron. There's racism everywhere, so I'm not just saying it's only America. There is racism everywhere. I remember one time I had a meeting with my workers, Joe. About 95% of my employees are black and brown people. About 60% of those are guys. The guy came to the meeting. He said, "Sorry, man, I got stopped at the train. I was late. I'm sorry." And I just said to all my black and brown workers, there's a couple white guys in there. I said, "How many of you have been stopped on the train?" Every single hand went up, Joe. Just stopped and searched every single. I said, "Is anybody here who hasn't been stopped?" The white guy. I never been stopped. I never had a cop come up to me on the train and say, "Let me look at your bag." 65 workers, 65 hands went up, including the girls. That's called systemic racism. That is fact. I don't care what nobody said. I didn't know. I didn't know until I moved out here. Anyways, can't take anything she said seriously after that. By the way, she also said she did take a couple jabs at Trump, although she's the biggest Trumper on the planet. She did take a few jabs at him. She also said that she's an election denier. Anyways, you're going to be hearing a lot about her, Haley, Nikki Haley. You'll be hearing a lot about her. She's very smart. She's a great speaker, Joe. Great speaker.
A Republican.
She is a Republican. She's a lot more likable than.
Run with maybe as a.
She's running for president, Joe.
Yes,
Joe, we've talked all week about the poor girl from New Jersey who was bullied and then ended up killing herself, 14 years old. Well, this one's speaking out. It happened, the exact same thing happened to her. It happened to me too. Thank God she did not kill herself. Being beaten earlier at the high school suicide. Olivia O'Day says she was beaten in 2022 at Central High in Berkeley Township of New Jersey, the same school where Adriana Cooch was attacked before she committed suicide. So you get beat up by your classmates. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, it's scary. But then they post it online and they laugh at you. And it's seen by not just your high school, it's seen by every human being on the earth that has a computer. I can imagine how horrific and horrible it was. For her to take her own life is just absolutely gut-wrenching. This former student at the New Jersey high school where Adriana Cooch was bullied before taking her own life is sharing her own similar humiliating experience there. I went through physical assault in the same school when I was a freshman. Hi, how are you? Joe, is that your wife?
Was in the doctor office.
All right. Joe's wife walking by. Joe, your wife is beautiful, man.
How is everybody?
How is everybody? Joe, she's too good for you, Joe. Look at this. Texas governor bans trans U sports. Transgender athletes will not be allowed to compete in college sports in the Lone Star State. Greg Abbott. Now, I find Greg Abbott to be one of the most despicable human beings on the planet, and I'll leave it there.
Who's that?
Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas, the one who keeps sending us all the immigrants or the migrants to
Now he sent them to
the Port Authority.
Canada. Canada Prime Minister is. He told him, don't send us anymore.
I still think that we should send all of our people who got out of Rikers Island, send them right to Texas. And I'm from Texas. I love Texas.
Yeah, but
I don't like the politics.
Texas, he's going to hang them.
We just talked about racism. I won't even get into racism, sexism, homophobia. That's a lot of governors. Florida, Texas. There's others, believe me. Chilling 911 calls have been released to witnesses describing the gunman who ran for the slaying of New Jersey councilwoman. This was the councilwoman who was shot and killed right in front of her home, Joe. I don't. Is there any good news here, Joe? Any good news at all?
No sign of red balloon?
Nope, there's no sign of the... Right now, the GOP is losing their mind. They believe, many of them, they're conspiracy theorists, that we shot down a bunch of Martians, aliens. And they want pictures of the craft. Hey, listen, I think transparency is good. I find it hard to believe that we shot down aliens, but if we did, we're probably going to be killed very soon. That's it. That's the last show of our career, Joe. We're all going to be killed by aliens by 5 o'clock. I don't want to do it. I can't. Like a UFO,
Gonna throw a nuclear weapon or not?
I hope not. I think if they've said for years that any alien beings that had the technology to come here to study us would have the technology to wipe us out.
Well, they said they're gonna shoot them down. I don't know how. Before they do any harm for the, our air.
Joe, the numbers are coming in from the war on Russia, from Russia and Ukraine. They're saying there's as many as 150,000 deaths on both sides.
Yeah. This is a war.
Joe, do you remember the dad who drove his truck off the cliff with his family in it?
Yeah, what happened to that?
I'm getting ready to tell you. His wife is a creep, apparently, Joe. Because he drove his truck off the cliff with his wife and kids into the vehicle, the car, not a truck.
They survived.
They all survived. And now the wife is saying, please don't prosecute me. He tried to kill me and my kids, but he's a good guy. The wife of the California doctor accused of intentionally driving his Tesla off a cliff with her and their 2 young children aboard has urged authorities not to prosecute. They're not going to listen to her. They're going to think she's a moron. I think they should prosecute her. Dharmesh Patel, 41, pleaded not guilty last week to 3 counts of attempted murder and 2 enhancements for the severe injuries his wife, 41, and their young children suffered. We got cops, Joe. We got cops. Defense attorney Josh Bentley shocked the courtroom when he said that Neha, the wife, doesn't want her husband prosecuted. Let it go. No harm, no foul. So what? He drove off a 250-foot cliff and crushed my kids in his Tesla and me. He's a good dad.
Well,
he works hard.
Years ago, the same thing happened in New Jersey. A doctor a doctor wife, and with her 2 kids, they drove through the highway. Then they went to the, they drove to the river. I remember that accident was horrible.
Horrific. What did she tell the cops don't prosecute?
She died with the kids, and her husband was a doctor, Indian doctor. You remember that?
I do remember that, Joe. Yeah. I do. Even though she says she doesn't want her husband prosecuted, even though she reportedly screamed that he intentionally tried to kill us. That's what she told the cop. San Mateo Police Chief, District Attorney, and so-and-so said the victims they declined to cooperate. Even the kids. Those kids ain't no snitch. My daddy didn't raise no snitch. Look at this pigeon trying to screw this other pigeon.
Yeah, the kids don't want to lose their father or their mother.
Yeah, the kids don't want to lose their father. They just want him to kill him again next time he's
When I stay united. I don't know.
Regardless of whether she is cooperative, we believe we have sufficient evidence to prove the charges. So even if she doesn't cooperate, they're going to get his ass. There's an urgent virus, Joe, a new virus out killing people. Look at this. You guys got to see this.
Well, they are not.
Hold on. Yeah, these pigeons. These pigeons right there.
Husband and a wife.
The one on the right ain't got no leg, but the one on the left, he's screwing her. Pigeons screw like humans screw, Joe. I did not know that. He's just jumping on her back and doing the old wasta-tusi. I'll bring you some pigeon porn in a second if it continues. He's a nonsense type of pigeon. He's just on her back, bouncing up and I don't know. She didn't look like she was having much fun, but she didn't leave. World Health Organization, the WHO, the WHO, is convened for an urgent meeting on Tuesday in response to an outbreak of the deadly Marburg virus in Africa. At least 9 people have been confirmed to have died from this virus. It started in Guinea, Joe, prompting WHO officials to meet and discuss. It's a better-known cousin to the Ebola virus.
We finished from one, and the other is on the way.
The good news is COVID's over. The bad news is Ebola is on its way. All right. The new Ant-Man is out. The new Ant-Man sequel. They're calling it mediocre. Ant-Man. Now a lot of these guys never liked the Marvel comics. Johnny Olensky has said he gave it 2 stars. It's juvenile humor. California canine cops could all be bark and no bite. I don't like that. 2 state lawmakers introduced a bill Monday that would ban law enforcement agencies from using police dogs in situations where animals could bite someone.
They have to catch a thief or a criminal. The only way they can catch him is to bite him, stop it. And they don't want to stop it.
Joe is always going to be on the side of the animal.
Who is that?
Sad end for this giraffe. Sad end for a New York Zoo giraffe. The beloved 6-year-old giraffe died after fracturing his neck over the weekend. A beloved giraffe died in upstate Zoo over the weekend when he fractured his neck after it got stuck in a support structure for his housing. Guys, come on, bro. Do better. Do better than that.
Do better. Make his house bigger.
His name was Parker.
Wider.
He got his neck stuck in something, and Joe, a family's Hawaiian air scare. Now we talked about this on the show yesterday. Remember the airplane that dropped over 7,000 feet in 2 seconds, Joe?
Almost touched the
perpendicular,
ocean.
straight down. It was 700 feet. That's 2 football fields, bro. From hitting the ocean. A passenger aboard a United Airlines flight that took a terrifying plunge near Hawaii described how the ordeal felt like a roller coaster and said he and his wife were praying for a miracle as the plane came within 700 feet of the Pacific Ocean. Rod Williams, too, his wife and 10-year-old daughter and their 7-year-old son were sitting near the back of the 777 Boeing. It felt like you were climbing to the top of a roller coaster, and at that point, over you went. There were a number of screams on the plane. Everybody knew that something was out of the ordinary, or at least this was not how it was supposed to be. I think when you're on an airplane, Joe, and it goes like it's going like this and then goes straight down.
It was a miracle.
Social media took Lloyd Devereaux Richards' serial killer novel, Some Maidens, from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the chart. I'm not going to read that. It's a serial killer who wrote a book, and now it's #1 on TikTok. Is this a gender woke joke? Alternatives to terms like male and female and mother and father should be sought in science because they assume that sex is binary. A group of researchers from U.S. and Canada suggested those terms should be instead referred as sperm donors or sperm producers. Hi, Cindy. We've been dating for 2 years. I want you to meet my sperm producer. This is my sperm producer, male. This is my sperm producer. I'm calling him mom and dad. What else we got, Joe?
The lovers are
the lovers are here. Joe's little pigeons are over here eating. Joe, 3,500 fish have died after that damn derailing. Joe, that derailing has happened. Everybody said, oh, the air's fine. Well, people are getting very sick and animals are dying. Pets and wildlife, including estimated 3,500 fish, have died in the wake of the toxic train derailment in Ohio. Oh, it's fine. It's a coincidence. The train derailed, caught on fire, and 3,500 fish died at the same time. It's a coincidence. People's dogs and cats are dying, Joe. All right, what else we got, Joe? I'm just going through the motions. Hey, Joe. It's about time that I bust a rhyme. I'm not Buster Rhymes, but when I bust a rhyme, I'm here to let you know we're about to flow. It's time for the Jordan Joe Show, so let's go.
How you doing,
Joe,
everybody?
how many would you like to do today, Joe?
3, 4. I'll do it for you.
Joe's doing 3.
Well, if you were born on January 21,
He's picking his own.
from January 21 to February 19, if you Aquarius, you, yes,
Sorry, Joe.
yes, you don't have to be super competitive. You don't have to win every argument. You will enjoy life more today if you look for ways to be more accepting of those who don't share your aims and beliefs.
No, we
Is
got a
that
request.
really so hard?
Is it so hard? We got a request for Pisces and Virgo. That's it.
Pisces. A Venus-Neptune union in your sign suggests you will be in a mellow state of mind today.
I need
You
an
cannot
interpreter.
be bothered to make a fuss about things that in the fullness of time you know you won't matter in this life. Enjoy each moment for what it is.
Booyah!
We have the Virgo. You may not be the sort to break rules and cut corners, but if you get the chance to move forward by a more roundabout route than usual today, by all means, take it.
Take it.
There is no cosmic law that say you must do it.
There's no law you must do it. Look at this guy's walker in New York.
How
He
you
gets-
doing, Mr. Toka?
Look, he gets at least $30 to $40 per dog. He has nice little gig if you can get it.
$200 a day.
And usually a lot of them want you to walk it twice.
Taurus.
Taurus, that's the mighty bull, Joe.
You may not be the sort who lets the world in on your innermost thoughts and feelings. But something will happen today that makes you much more open about your needs and desires. Expect
Talking about doing
to
the
get
nasty.
offers of assistance from all directions. I do.
Did you do any birthdays, Joe? I don't want you guys looking at my watch. It's not. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's one of my absolute favorite watches. Amazon.
We are on the
$30.
15.
How beautiful is that
15.
watch? We're on the 15th today.
Born on this day, a great scientist by the name of Galileo. Galileo. He was
Galileo.
born on this.
A great scientist that Joe knows a lot about named Galileo. It's not Galileo, Joe?
Galileo. But
Galileo was the first to,
I talk it on the way of
He
my
invented,
accent.
Joe, he invented
Galileo.
He invented a telescope when people were looking at stuff with their naked eye. He was the first one to circumvent the theoretical congestion chamber, not absolutely predominant with injunctions, therefore as alienations happen. Now, theoretically, I'm inclined to disbelieve any involuntary action to multiplication, that, but all these, I made all that up. He was the first one to do something with someone back when something happened, something. I don't know what he did. I don't care. I don't know. But Galileo was famous. That much I do. I think he might have...
was he the scientist who discovered gravity?
No, that was
That's not him.
That's
Newton. And this guy discovered stars.
He discovered the stars. No one had ever, Joe, in the history of man, we used to walk around like this, and one day some guy looked up at night and goes, "What are those things?" He was the first one that ever saw a star.
All right. Charles Louis Tiffany.
I'm
Born
going
on
to assume
this
he was
day.
the Tiffany guy from the famous Cha-Ching.
The founder of Tiffany
Founder.
and Company.
Or was he the one that used to sing that song, "I Think We're Alone Now"? That doesn't seem to dark of the family. He was Drew Barrymore's grandfather. He was Barrymore. The Barrymore Theater's right down the street here, Joe. I don't know nothing else about him.
Mr. Jack and Mr.
Oh boy,
Hyde.
we're buffering, Joe.
Right. Mr. Jack and Mr. Hyde.
All right. Are we still buffering, guys?
See the buffering they do?
We're good. We
John
buffered for a few
Barrymore.
seconds. Thank you. What else you got, Joe?
We have Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero played the Joker in Batman.
That's
I'm
right.
pretty sure.
Correct.
But I mean, he was a famous actor, did a lot of things, but that's where he... Yeah, we got more buffering going on, Joe. What else? I blame Joe for that.
We have Matt Groening.
Matt Groening was the guy who did The Simpsons. He drew The Simpsons. I'm almost positive it's him.
Yes, you're right. He's 69 years old.
Matt Groening.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, Joe, was one of my heroes. He threw his whole life away, unfortunately, because he wanted to be so much like his idols, John Belushi. Chris Farley was an absolutely brilliant, slapsticky, kind of physical, comedic actor. He could do anything. You guys know him, of course, from Saturday Night Live, and then his movies like Black Sheep and Beverly Hills Ninja and some of those. Chris Farley had it all. He was amazing. Also, he was about 400 pounds and he could do cartwheels. He did cartwheels at Planet Hollywood. I saw him in person like 3 times. Each time he had the baddest female you ever saw with him. The most beautiful women in the world. Just people loved him. He was so nice and so great. But Joey was a severe drug addict. Cocaine, heroin. He ended up speedballing and dying at the, I forget what hotel it was, the Marmont Hotel, I think. Same place that one of his idols had died at. He ended up speedballing, died on the floor of a hotel room. And yeah, I'll be down in a van by the river. What else you got, Joe? God bless you.
Brandon Boyd.
Who?
Brandon Boyd. He's a rock singer.
Never heard of him.
No? Brandon
Thomas
Boyd.
Chino's here today. What's up, Thomas? How's it going?
How you doing, Mr. Patton?
I skipped the name of the famous movie. Okay, so let's stop. He did Black Sheep, and then he did the Man in the Little Coat, David Spade.
Okay, a great horse was born on this day, Seattle.
Brandon Boyd is a rock singer from Incubus. I did not know that. I never would have known.
He got it, Brandon Boyd.
Brandon Boyd. Tommy Boy. Oh, David Young with the win. Tommy Boy was probably his best. I loved Tommy Boy. A lot of people don't know. There's other people in Tommy Boy besides that. Bo Derek's in there. Rob Lowe's in there. Dennis, tough guy from Rambo's in there. Anyways, David Spade, of course, is in there. Also, the bad guy in there. Not really the bad guy, but Dan Aykroyd's in there. He's brilliant.
Megan.
That guy in a little coat. What, Joe?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Don't you dare, Joe. Don't you ever mention
You
the
know.
name of my show. Don't you dare, Joe.
Yeah.
I love me some
Megan.
Everybody knows me. You know I love me some Megan Thee Stallion. It's Megan Thee Stallion. She made headlines last year, Joe, when she was shot by Tory Lane. She's from Texas. She's dope, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Megan, she can spit bars. She's fine. She's known for her twerking and stuff, but the girl can spit some bars. What else you got, Joe? Happy birthday, boo.
We have on this day a happy birthday for Seattle Slew. That's a horse. He won the American Triple Crown.
He won the Triple Crown, and that was, I think, in the 70s, but he was back in the days with Secretariat and all those. Seattle Slew was a monster.
We have the last one.
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The last one is Ernest Shackleton. He's the explorer of the Antarctica.
Antarctica. All right. I don't know.
Died on this day. Nat King Cole.
Raquel Welch. Oh, I love Raquel Welch. Why did Raquel Welch's name come up, Jane Doe? Did Raquel Welch die on this day? Or was Raquel Welch? No, it wasn't Raquel Welch in Tommy Boy. That was Bo Derek. But I nobody loved Raquel Welch more than I did. Did she just pass? Look at that, Joe. That's an exclusive right there. Who broke the story here? It was Jane Doe broke the story. Raquel Welch has passed away today, Joe.
Really?
Oh man, she was one of the most beautiful women of all time.
Israeli actress.
I didn't know that. I just think she was a fine actress.
She's an Israeli actress.
Certainly up there with the all-time greats. Just an absolute treasure. I did not know that she passed away today.
But she's
so
not
much.
That old.
82, from what they're saying.
Really?
82, that's younger than you, Joe.
Really? She was 82?
82.
Well, good for her. All right.
Man, she was a bad one, son.
That's a revolving door.
You're a 15 or 16-year-old boy, you see a poster of Raquel Welch, it's over for you. That's facts. Very, very sorry.
We have today Nat King Cole.
What do you know about
He
Nat
died
King
on
Cole?
this day.
Nat King Cole was just a brilliant, brilliant singer. His daughter followed in his footsteps and became Natalie Cole. Became a brilliant singer as well, but he was absolutely just had a wonderful, wonderful voice. Nat King Cole, God bless him.
Okay. Ethel Nerman.
Ethel Merman, she's the one that used to talk like this, and she had the show tunes, and I don't know nothing about her. She was a big Broadway star, but she was also a lot of movies, and she had that really, I can't do it because I'm very manly. Joe could do it better than me, but she had that screeching voice, Ethel Merman. She sang like that as well.
Henry Brandon,
I don't know who the hell that is.
as an actor, I think they can Google it for you.
They can Google.
Henry
Henry
Brandon.
If you guys can Google Henry Brandon, I would know who he is, but I don't know who he is.
Okay, if you there is an actor from New Zealand. His name is Kevin Smith.
Well, there is a famous Kevin Smith. He's a director and an actor, but he's not from New Zealand. He's from Jersey.
If you see, he was in the movie Hercules.
Okay, different Kevin Smith. Don't know him.
Okay, Vanity. Who is Vanity? Dennis
Don't you
Matthews.
mention her name on my show, Joe.
Yeah,
That's not fair. Vanity is probably the most beautiful woman in the history of Earth. Vanity discovered by Prince. I love Vanity. If you see the movie Accent Jackson, that was her big breakout role. But man, that's a bad one, son. Make you want to slap your mama. I love her. Joe, that's all she got today.
That's all we have today because he has to go to
I
work.
do gotta go to work. It could be the worst show we've ever done, Joe.
No, it's a fine show.
It's a pretty crappy show. Your segment was crappy. Mine wasn't so bad. I want to thank all the people who dropped by. John Ramsey, Sugar Bay. Of course, my dear friend David Young dropped by today. Ambrose says that Kevin Smith died from falling from a prop tower. I did not know that. Very, very sad to hear that. Man's here. Kevin Butler. Streaming with Vinny. Streaming with Vinny G is always fun. Edward Griffin's dropping by again. Thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate you so much. RJ, I hope that you get up and around better soon, my friend. God bless you. Thank you, Rev, for all you do. Arthur Lopez, where the hell you been, Playboy? See, y'all don't think I watch. I watch. Oh, I see that my buddy Brooklyn Bourne's in there, and he's shouting out Tori Day. Tori Day is one of my dear friends. Tori Day is always dropping a Boogie Bob exclusive. Sugar Bay, I said it before. I want to say it again. I can't tell you how many times I've seen you leave a comment. Hi, Thomasino. God bless you. Sugar Bay, I can't tell you how many times I go and there's you watching an old ass video, leaving a comment. I see them all and I appreciate you so much. Edward Griffin, God bless you. Thank you so much. Jordan Joe, once again, you are the shit, my friend. Thank you for dropping by today. We will see you guys soon. We're at like almost 600 subscribers. It's only been a little over about 2 weeks now. We'll be at the 1,000 mark, and I told you on the 1,000th subscriber. Hi, Tori Day. God bless you guys. Tori Day Tori Day's coming to New York on March 25th. I hope he does the show. Hey, brother, how are you? Tori Day, I hope you do the show. Treating, God bless you. You already know what it is. Thank you so much. Tova's in here. Why didn't you tell me Tova was here?
Oh,
Joe?
yeah, with Tova.
What's your problem? And Kevin Butler is here, your old pal, Kevin Butler.
Hi, Kevin.
Nobody's had
Long
their name
time
butchered
no
more than you, but Tori Day is an amazing person. He's a wonderful bass player. He's super good looking, and he's well liked. He's in Buffalo, Joe. He's in your old favorite haunts, Buffalo. Hi, Mr. Buffalo. We will talk to you guys again soon. Tammany, as always, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If I forgot anybody, it's Joe's fault. I don't know why Joe does that. Hector, Joe, where the hell has Hector been?
How you doing, Hector? How is everything?
Hector, what's your problem, bro?
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
ask
you
about
for a
Hector
while.
all the time. We always ask about Hector. God bless you, Hector. Everybody say hi to Hector. That's El Barrio boy. That's the original El Barrio boy. All right, Joe, we got to get up out of here. I got some bad shorties waiting on me. And I will talk to you guys again real soon. Please be kind and loving to each other. Be good to yourself. You deserve it. And if ain't nobody told you today you're special, Joe, you're special, Joe.
Thank you, everybody.
Why are you thanking them? I said you're special. They didn't say you were
Thank you,
special.
Mr. Special.
Edward didn't say you were special. Look at RJ. He's saying bye, guys. He doesn't say you're special.
Thank you, Mr. Special.
Thank you, Mr. Special. God bless you.
All right.
Thank you, Joe. That's for you. Now I gotta make some phone